Hello YouTubers, welcome to another Team Building 101 video. This is Tuperius, and today we're throwing episode 8 at you. And we are going to learn about counters today, so grab your pen and paper and prepare to become smart. Now I'm sure you're all saying, Tuperius, what is a counter? And if you're Fizzy Stardust, this is what your countertop looks like, but we're not talking about that kind of counter today. We're talking about the Pokemon-related counters. So, a counter is something that can be used against your team that makes your team less effective because, like the name says, it counters your team, which means that it has moves that are very effective against the majority of your team. So, how are we going to figure out what the counters against your teams are? Well, first off, we're going to hit up our resources. We're going to go to Maryland Team Builder to figure out what our weaknesses are. You're going to plug in all of your team members into the Team Builder, and it will tell you what kind of attacks you are weak against. It will bring you to a page that looks like this. And this is a page for the team building team. So, you can see what we've got there. We got some major ice, ground, and water weaknesses, and unfortunately a very popular Pokemon carries all those kinds of attacks most of the time, and that would be Swampert. And we don't have a whole heck of a lot to counter Swampert on this team, but let's look at why Swampert is very effective against our team, because it carries a natural disasters. It carries moves like Earthquake. It also carries moves like Surf and Waterfall. So let's see how this is super effective against our team. Both Aerodactyl and Infernape are weak to water attacks like Surf and Waterfall, which are stab boosted on Swampert. And that's just not good. So what else are we going to talk about? Ground type moves, which are also boosted by stab. Earthquake. Almost all Swamperts carry an Earthquake, and that's going to really hurt Lantern as well as Infernape. Especially because neither of them really have anything that can do anything to Swampert at this point. Another move type that Swampert carries that our pokes are weak to are ice type attacks. Avalanche, Ice Punch, Ice Beam are very popular ice type attacks to have on a Swampert. And the major reason that Swampert carries ice type attacks is because it is 4 times weak to grass. And Tangrowth as well as Tangrowth as well as Aerodactyl are weak to ice type attacks. So how are we going to effectively create a counter for this Swampert on our team? Alright, we're going to look at it. We need some grass type moves, plain and simple. We only have one Pokemon with a grass type move at this point, and that's Tangrowth. And if it gets taken down, we are screwed if a Swampert gets rolling on our team. So what are some of our options? Well, let's take a look at Infernape right now. I've been thinking about making Infernape a mixed attacker. What is a mixed attacker? A mixed attacker is a Pokemon that has both physical and special type attacks. So what can we add to Infernape that would be beneficial for taking on a Swampert? And we are going to go with Grass Knot. It's 4 times effective on Swampert, and it is a guaranteed one-hit KO in almost all situations. Another thing we can do, I've been thinking about replacing Aerodactyl on this team. Aerodactyl is weak to ice as well as the water type attacks that the Swampert would throw at it. Now, I've been looking at a Pokemon, and I've been thinking about adding this Pokemon since day 1, and that is Gyarados. Gyarados is a very good I don't want to say a counter for Swampert, but it pretty much walls Swamperts unless they carry Stone Edge. And not that many Swamperts do anymore. Ice type attacks, water type attacks, and the ground type attacks that we're worried about are either ground is immune, water is resisted, and ice type attacks just do neutral base damage. So Gyarados would be a great help to our team. Plus it helps us create a counter for Scizors, which also are not terribly threatened by much that we have on this team at this point. So adding Gyarados would be a very good idea. Okay guys, I'm sorry for the shortness, but that is the counter video. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned much from it. Alright guys, if you have any questions, comments, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and this is Prius. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.